Welcome back to Ruben's Rundown, guys. Today I'm kicking off a brand new series called What's in Your Glass. I'm not an expert or brand rep, just a consumer who enjoys learning what I'm actually drinking. I spent time in Tequila, Mexico touring the Jose Cuervo plant, and I've also done an extensive bourbon trail trip in Kentucky. This series is about sharing what I've learned along the way so you can make better choices when you're standing in front of the shelf. This first episode is Tequila 101. Before those trips, I bought tequila based on the label, the price, or what was popular. What I learned is that most of the important information is already on the bottle. You just need to know how to read it. The slides you're seeing walk through the main things I now look for every time I pick up a bottle. I've also linked these slides in the description so you can review them on your own later. The first thing I pay attention to is agave content. If a bottle does not say 100% agave, it's what's called a mixto. That means up to half of the alcohol can come from other sugars like corn syrup or cane sugar. On the tour in Tequila, they were very clear about this distinction. Since then, I personally stick with 100% agave. That doesn't mean every bottle is great, but every good tequila I've had has lived in this category. Next is alcohol by volume, or ABV. True, tequila sold in the US must be at least 40% alcohol. Some bottles go higher, and I found those often deliver more flavor and depth, not just more burn. Anything under 40% is usually a flavored tequila or a tequila-based liqueur. Those can absolutely have a place in cocktails, but I like knowing up front what I'm buying. Another thing I didn't think about before these trips is additives. Tequila is legally allowed to contain certain additives like glycerin, sweeteners, oak extract, and caramel coloring. These aren't automatically bad, but they're often used to make tequila smoother, sweeter, and more mainstream. That's why some popular brands taste very vanilla forward or soft. I don't avoid additives across the board. I just like understanding why tequila tastes the way it does. Some of the bottles shown here are additive-free tequilas. These usually taste brighter and more agave forward. A lot of brands don't publish whether they use additives, so if you want to go deeper, there are resources that help identify which brands fall into that category. Again, this isn't about judgment, just about awareness. Now let's talk about the different types of tequila, which mostly comes down to aging. Blanco is unaged and very fresh and vibrant. That's my go-to for margaritas and lighter cocktails. Reposado is aged for a short time in barrels, which adds smoothness and a touch of oak while still keeping the agave front and center. Añejo and extra añejo are more about sipping. They're richer, more complex, and something I usually enjoy slowly rather than mix heavily. There are also a couple other styles worth calling out that doesn't always get explained clearly. Joven is typically a blend of unaged Blanco with a small amount of aged tequila. It's designed to combine the brightness of Blanco with a little added depth, and it can be nice middle ground depending on the brand. Cristalino starts as an aged tequila, usually añejo, and it is then filtered to remove the color. The goal is to keep some of the aged character while presenting a clear, smoother looking spirit. Some people love these styles, some don't. It really comes down to personal preference and understanding what you're tasting. The last slide compares big brands and more craft-focused producers. Big brands usually focus on being smooth, approachable, and easy to drink, with a lot of marketing behind them. Craft producers tend to focus more on the liquid itself, with more complex flavor profiles and smaller batches. Neither approach is right or wrong. I just try to be honest with myself about what I'm paying for, whether that's branding, consistency, or craftsmanship. This video is just the foundation. Tequila 101 is about understanding the basics so you're not guessing when you're buying a bottle. I've linked the slides in the description so you can take a closer look at everything we covered. Coming up next is Bourbon 101, where I'll share what I learned on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, followed by honest reviews across tequila, bourbon, beer, seltzers, and non-alcoholic options. If this helped you drink a little smarter, like this video, subscribe, and let me know what you want to see next in What's in Your Glass.